Let's walk up in the way back and see what's going on up there. Here is a stick fence I made a few years ago. I keep replenishing it with new branches and things as they develop. Hosta here, which doesn't look like it's coming back. The deer did eat that last year. It's a dogwood. It's really not doing much, but it's still alive. The entrance into the other side of the herb garden, that's the cord for the motorhome electricity. These are bobo hydrangeas. They don't seem to be as happy here in the too much shade, so I might have to revisit that. It's getting a little thin. Top of the driveway here. This is more of like a woodland area. These maple trees are wonderful, and we tap all these from maple syrup. And I use all of those leaves that fall down and that we rake and blow into this area. I will use that for leaf mulch. We have a chipper shredder, so we put leaves through the shredder. It makes for beautiful mulch, and the chipper makes for great mulch as well. So all these leaves will be shredded and I will use on the garden beds. This is chipped wood, and that's held up nicely. That I put down last fall. Just raked all the leaves off of it and it still looks good. This garden bed I created last summer. This is the last garden bed I'm creating for a while. I did a separate video on this, and what I learned is deer love rhododendron in the winter. The firs did well. They're New Canaan fir. They did get a little bit of damage on the back with the snow coming off of that building. Thought it would have been far enough away, but it wasn't. Anyhow, they're still doing fine. A lot of nice growth on them. The leaves I'm using as a mulch. I had them down all winter. Then I will shred and add to the top. But the rhodies were eaten, and they are recovering here. So I was glad about that. Grass will be going in this area here because this was such a work area for a while. So there's always something to do, but that's what will happen here. That arborvitae looks awful, so that's got to, I think, be replaced. The white pine are fine. These are some wildflowers. Okay, this is the way back. It's kind of unsightly. And I planted 7 rhododendron back there, which I wanted to grow in and kind of end the eye at the woodland. But the deer came and ate them. So we'll take a look at that. This is the deer repellent I use. This works pretty well for me. I put it in the garden sprayer and I cover the plants pretty well. So I do recommend this. The wildflowers are everywhere, and I'm trying to embrace it and not cut everyone down. This is horseradish. This is a plum tree, which was abused by the deer last year. So it's still alive. It had no blossoms on it. So I'm just hoping for the best. My garlic is very sad. I guess I'm just not good at growing garlic. I think once again, I planted them too early, even though it was weeks later than I normally do. Here's another one of those great hoses. Got 3, one here, one at the patio, and one behind the barn. This used to be way overgrown. This was crazy, like bramble back here. You couldn't even walk here. And in another month, this will be all wildflowers, black-eyed Susan, goldenrod. The daisies are coming out, and some other flowers. So we just leave this be. We don't need to use any more land for growing anything. These are blackberry here. I see we do have some blossoms on one of the canes. So this is an example of don't do too much because then you just have more work. Let's go look at the rhodies. We got small rhodies on purpose. You know, they were inexpensive and we thought we'll just put them back there, it'll be fine. I did not know that deer would eat rhodies in the winter. I could have put burlap on, but I didn't know. These things were eaten down to little nubs. This is all new growth because I've been spraying them with that deer repellent. So it's coming back. There's another one right there. And there's a few other just growing in the grass. We had to throw some greens on top of these in the winter. That didn't really stop them. It's not a pretty area. It looks more purposeful when all the wildflower grows in. This was just a mess back here. All overgrown. This is the remnants of the giant shredder that came in and took care of it. So the lesson is only do as much as you can handle at one time. Don't take on more than you can manage unless you have a staff, which I do not. So these rhodies are recovering. But hopefully you can see my vision where I thought, okay, these will just fill in and it'll be a nice backdrop to this whole yard. So yeah, look at this rhodie. Some parts of it aren't doing as good. This is another dead hedge. It's gotten a little sloppy looking, might have to deal with it. However, it's very useful. So all of the sticks and things that develop can be put in one place. This hosta is typically eaten by now, and it wasn't because I've been spraying it. This is our path through the woods, which we will cover with wood chips. Hopefully sooner rather than later. This is my native plant pollinator garden, which it doesn't look great. It's not very abundant yet. Black-eyed Susan, coneflower, sedum, butterfly bush, and I think there's a thistle in here. Oh yeah, there's the thistle. So it doesn't look very pretty now. It looked better in the early fall. So these are the things that are discouraging. Things that should grow abundantly, like the lemon queen sunflower, where it grows abundantly in some areas, just aren't doing anything here where I thought would be perfect. The Joe Pye weed is a little bit too large here, needs to be thinned out in scale compared to the other side. Got to work on this. So it gets to be kind of exhausting thinking about all of that. But on a positive note, it's a garden bed that's established somewhat, so I can just keep tweaking that and not having to create any other garden beds. Here's a tip I learned through a garden club friend. This is with deer repellent in it. You take a plastic jar of some sort and let me open it. I poke a hole in the lid. I put the rope through, tie a knot. I drilled holes in the plastic, and then inside is a piece of fabric, and I spray that with the deer repellent. And it hangs here, and it actually works pretty well. I have them on these sticks that I put in, one on each end, one in the middle, but these just hang here, and it gives off that horrendous deer repellent scent. But let's talk about this. This is what I call the fruit garden. And this has been very disappointing because these 3 lovely apple trees were a favorite of the deer. So they have been struggling to grow. 3 blueberry bushes, and only one has blossoms for berries on it. So I'm not sure what the story is. Oh, this one has a few, and the one on the other side has a few. The clematis, I just don't have good luck with it. This used to be down on the arbor, and I thought that maybe it wasn't getting enough sun, so I moved it here. And maybe I just have a bush variety. At least it's flowering. The apple tree had no flowers on it this year. Okay, this does have a few berries on it. All right, good. Not many. Last year it had a lot. This is what the deer have eaten. They broke this branch off and just keep nibbling it up to, you can see they don't work so much to get to the very tippy top. I'm just going to leave it for another year. I planted strawberry. I thought that would be great. The deer thought it was great. But shockingly, after I sprayed, I might get a couple strawberries. Yeah, this one has some berries on it. Future berries. So that's a little encouraging. So I had higher hopes for the garden, the fruit garden area. So this is what I'm talking about. Some things are just, you think are going to go well, that just end up being disappointing. Overall, it looks much more interesting and appealing than it did when it was just overgrown and neglected. So I'll just focus on the positives and keep what's here alive and not eaten so hardly by the deer. And then back to the driveway. Thanks for coming along on my garden tour. Hopefully I wasn't too much of a downer on some of my challenges that I've had over the past year. It is frustrating because I am a fairly new gardener, so dealing with these, it kind of sets you back a little bit. So I'm going to be focusing on the positive and focus on what the deer won't eat, enjoy what does go well, learn from what doesn't go well, and that'll be the theme over all the gardens that we tour this season, because with talking with other gardeners, I know that they've had very similar challenges. The deer were relentless this year. Everybody experienced the drought here. So we'll learn from those other gardeners as we tour their gardens. So please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next garden tour. Thanks for watching.